Welcome, my friends, to baloneybrain.com for another Weird Wednesday. News of the weird, the wicked, and the truly stupid. Joining me is my co-host, Daryl House. How you doing today, Daryl?
Oh, I've also been accused of being the truly stupid, but today I think we're going to raise the bar on stupidity from what I understand from what we talked about in your stories and my stories. Well, we got some dumb criminals out there today.
Absolutely. Do you got one to start us off?
Well, you know what? I keep laughing about this one. Up in Lake Mary, which is just a small suburb of outside of Orlando area, there was a lady. This is actually going to run me back to the musical version we were doing of this not too long ago. The deputies, they have a nose for crime in Lake Mary. Deputies said that when Kimberlyn Witt, a third-grade teacher, no less. Oh, how embarrassing. And a passenger in her SUV drove past them with the windows down. They got a good whiff of marijuana. When deputies stopped and searched the 48-year-old teacher's SUV, they found pot, cocaine, and pills. Witt admitted having coke in her bra when authorities asked if she had any more drugs. So this is what I'm saying. This reminded me of that song by the Zac Brown Band. I got pot on my car seat, coke in my bra, not a worry in the world.
Very nice.
Life is good today.
And she was a teacher, no less.
Third grade. Those are like my kids. I write for third grade. Those are the ones that, when I visualize my demographic, they get all my jokes. That's what I like about third graders. They're the best.
Well, Victor Ruiz, arrested after a tow truck tows away his kids. So the guy parks in a no parking zone just to take his groceries inside, and a tow truck zooms up and hooks up his car and takes with his kids still inside. I, of course, would have taken the kids inside first and then got the groceries, but, they've filed 2 counts of abandoning a child. It seems to me that, they ought to, kind of throw the book a little bit at this tow truck driver. You don't just tow away a car with kids in it.
Well, the way you headlined this story, it said the tow truck, they hauled away the guy's kids. I had this vision of this big hook coming down from the back of the truck with these kids flapping in the wind.
They were in the car. But he is currently in jail on a $4,000 bond.
The dad.
Yes.
Yeah, and the truck driver goes free. I actually got they put the boot on my car Saturday night. I was so aggravated when I came out of my job at midnight. I'm going out of my car. I load all the PA in, and I get around to the driver's window. It says, "Do not try to move your car. It has been disabled." And I'm going, yeah. Anyway, my stories, I think, are all kind of druggy stories today. I mean, idiots out there that are doing too many drugs. The wing-eating champ from New Jersey, Woodbury, New Jersey, got popped distributing cocaine. Now, this is another great story. 5-time buffalo wing eating champion. They call him El Wingador.
El Wingador.
El Wingador. But see, but it's a cocaine thing. I would think it would be like marijuana. I mean, this guy's 5 times. He's eaten more wings than anybody else. I would think like El Patador.
If they're picking up the bill, sign me up. 'Cause I can eat some wings.
He pleaded guilty to cocaine distribution. Gloucester County prosecutor says William Simmons pleaded guilty to possession with intent to distribute. 51-year-old Woodbury Heights resident faces a 7-year prison term when he's sentenced next September. Several charges were filed against him. He should have stuck to the wings.
Yeah, hard to make a living eating wings, though.
Well, if you do it better than anybody else.
Well, I've got a couple stories related to stories that you've done in the past few weeks. You were talking about the bounce house king and how he was being... Well, in Idaho, a bounce house explosion injures 6 kids. And the reason that this caught my attention is because... excuse me.
Bless you.
Is because bounce house related injuries are up like crazy. And between 2008 and 2010, the number of injuries more than doubled, according to the study by the National Children's Hospital. An average of 31 kids a day are treated in emergency rooms for bounce house-related injuries. That's one child every 45 minutes.
Well, it talks me out of wanting to get a bounce house. I thought, because there appeared to be so much money in it when they were trying to extort that guy a couple weeks ago. I thought, well, maybe I ought to get myself about a half a dozen bounce houses. But when you think about it, because we had one recently for one of our grandchildren's birthday, they come and they set it up in advance. They leave it there for 4 hours, and they got to come and break it all down. I don't know. I guess you have to clean it and stuff. But, it's a fairly time-intensive occupation. I don't know what the investment would be on that, but you're putting several hours into setting up, and before you can come back and get up, I don't know if it's really worth it or not. Every 45 minutes, a child is hurt in a bounce house?
Every 45 minutes.
Do they have, bounce houses in the middle of the night? For the bartenders.
We're going to have one at the Old Crow Bar.
Yeah. What do you want to do after work tonight? I don't know. Let's go to the bounce house and have a shot. Well, I got one more stupid story. I forgot all about the Willie Nelson thing I was going to say. I saw this on Facebook. It made me laugh. Somebody was saying, quoted Willie Nelson as saying, I don't understand why Lance Armstrong is getting so much grief. He won 7 Tour de France's while he was on drugs. Willie says, when I was on drugs, I couldn't even find my bike. I love it, but that's not this story. This story comes out of Houston. The radio station, 95.7, Hot 95.7, reports that their story goes on, if you're guilty of an unsolved double homicide, don't write rap lyrics about it. Antoine Stewart is now charged with 2 counts of murder after police saw some of the videos on Stewart's YouTube page.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, no. Well, this is just the pittest of it. This is gangster rap. One of the videos titled, Hip Full of Gun. I like that. Got a hip full of gun, baby.
That's like poetry.
Well, I think that's what rap is to a certain degree, like street poetry. But he describes the scene like this. Now, there is some language in here that rap artists are fond of using that I'm going to tone this down just a little bit for our baloney brain crowd. But the lyrics go, everybody saw when I effing choked him, but nobody saw when I effing smoked him. Sharpened up the shank, then I poked him. Told you, F with my money, I'll roast you. Now that's poetry.
Wow.
That's love.
Well, about a week or so ago, you did the story. This is probably longer than that. About the Florida man who punched a cop and pooped his pants.
I love that one.
Well, everybody in the federal courthouse, 50-year-old Ronald Strong apparently accidentally pooped his pants. So he went to clean it up, and he left such a mess in the bathroom of the first U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals that they gave him a week in jail. Now, what I don't understand is this. Not only did you leave a mess, but the judge went through all the paperwork, wrote a 57-page document detailing the act with comparisons to spaghetti with meat sauce and chunky peanut butter. So how bad did it have to be for somebody to write a 57-page document? Unbelievable.
Spaghetti sauce and peanut butter? You know that today, actually, Tuesday, is National Lasagna Day. I read that this morning, just happened to think about that. But all the 57 pages, remind me of a dog I bought one time. It had papers, never, ever went on them.
That's an awful lot of work.
Folks, this is Baloney Brain. It's Weird Wednesday. Use toy, I'm Suburban Hobo, and we'll see y'all next week. Have a good time.
See you later.
Bye-bye.